Welcome back everybody. We have this Pearson in the stand today. The oldest brand in the world according to Guinness Book of Records. 1860 these guys have been going from, so they should know what they're doing by now. However, this is pretty appropriate at the moment. It ain't supposed to sound like that. And the back one's the same as well. We've got some issues going on with these wheels. Let's have a look and see what else we can find along the way. Yeah, like I say, the back wheel isn't much better either, so we're going to look at that. The customers asked me for a bit of an easier ratio if possible. However, we're on a short gauge derailleur here. So be on the safe side, this is a 28 and we're going to go to a 30. You probably get a 32, but just to make sure it's completely rideable with no issues on the B tension, we'll go with a 30. Should still make a big difference for him. TRP cable operated disc brakes, we'll see how they're performing, see if they need any improvement work. Apparently this isn't doing a great deal, not performing as it should, so obviously a couple of new gear cables going in there. Like I say, the main issue. These wheels, the guy who's actually riding this, I was like, wow. Anyway, let's get that sorted first. All right, drop these out and let's see what is going on. We've got issues, that's for sure. Just going to try these gears actually before we drop it out to see what's happening. Yeah. Right, super sluggish. Goes up, won't go up there, and that's me going down the block now. With about a 2-second delay on each gear. And you don't want to go down there, do you? I can pull you down, so that's clearly a cable issue. The brake didn't feel great either. Right, let's get things off. We're taking this cassette off anyway, so let's get it stripped down. It went very tight. Axle. There's the axle out, or spindle if you want to be pedantic about it. Normally I'd just put this in the vise and pull it out in the soft jaws, but this wasn't coming out, so I'm going to try a plan B. Put the axle back in a few threads, support it on a hub support and give it a bit of a tap, see if that just drops it out. Like that, there you go. And normally they'll just pull straight out, but this one was being a bit awkward. The amount of corrosion in here, it's not really surprising. And then on a lot of wheels this free hub would just pull off, but this is actually bolted in from the inside. So I'm going to knock this bearing out first, and then we'll be able to get access to that free hub and unbolt that. So just drop it on the floor and it stops it bouncing around, and then it should just knock out fairly easily, hopefully. Like that, and that's it there. So that's the first bearing, well, dead. And then this one you can reach from the other side, you just catch the edge and that'll just drop out. Right, that's that one out as well. You can see those lines in there now, that's where the Allen key socket just drops in there basically. So that's a 12mm on this one. There's another one behind it which is, I think is a 10, but you can't get to it. Oh yeah, it's tight again on the floor. There you go. That should just unscrew now. I'll take the free hub off with it. There you go, there's the free hub body. The free hub body itself is looking really good, feels good, sounds fantastic. So we're not going to go any deeper on this one. You tend to find these are not generally designed to be serviced by the manufacturer, and doing it you can sometimes, in my experience, introduce more problems than you're trying to solve. My advice is, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. If it is broke, buy a new one. Alright, finally getting back on this. I've just had a load of customers, so a bit inconvenient when you're trying to make videos, but hey, pays the bills, doesn't it? Well, I'm just going to press the new bearing straight into here. Should be pretty straightforward. Use the part press for that. I'll just go straight in there. Like I say, if you've got a different free hub with obviously cartridge bearings, it's a different story altogether. They're super serviceable, but on these older sort of cup and comb ones, not so much. That's that ready. And then the wheel itself, and bolt the free hub back in there. That big bolt. Tighten that up nice and tight on these. Put that on. Next bearing in here. Always grease this just to get the bearings in. Much easier. Through there. That'll just wind straight in, no problem. So 6000 on one and a 6000 on the other side. Good. This axle will go through now. Like that. And this one just screws on the end. Again, just a bit more weatherproofing grease around here. And obviously we have this lock nut to go on there as well once they're bottomed in. Just grab a spanner and then just tighten that down. Once it stops, again, just stop. Doesn't need to be any further than that. It's probably a little bit tight actually. Back that out a little bit. That's it. And the same as a normal wheel with cones. Just tighten this lock nut up against that. Beautiful. Right, so that's that one done. I'm just waiting for a cassette. I've got an integral one that I would use, but I want to put a 105 on this to save 20 quid really. The rest of the bike's 105, so that'll be fine. So while we're waiting for that, we'll just do the front wheel. It's very similar. Let's get this rotor back on first. So on these Fulcrums, you can actually adjust the preload here. So if you undo this collar will basically screw in and take up this play. I'll show you. We're going to change the bearings anyway, but there is adjustment on this one. If there was only a tiny bit of play, you'd probably get away with it, but this one is massive, so we're going to change the bearings anyway. So you basically just slacken that off, screw it in. Make sure you get rid of that play. These sound horrendous to me. When they're that bad, you can't even take the play out. So they're coming out. So I should be able to just clamp this in the soft jaws, bang the wheel, and it'll just stay in the vise, and the wheel will go separately, hopefully. Absolute carnage here. I've been fixing a stupid e-bike PAS sensor. Oh my god. There's nothing on there, so I had to buy 4 sensors as a guess, and then solder them up until I got one that worked. Oh my god. I don't generally do them. I have no idea how I ended up with that one, but wow, what a pain that was. But it worked. And I bought a new soldering iron, so that's cool. It's worth it just for that. I should have filmed it, to be honest. It's actually quite interesting, but extremely frustrating for me at the same time. It is a genuine e-bike, wasn't it? I don't do DIY rubbish. Wow. So anyway, just clamping that end cap on there, and then I'm literally going to just bang this wheel up here, and hopefully it can just come straight out. Like that. Obviously make sure you use an aluminium soft jaw. Leave that one there so you know which is which. And the same on the other one with the preload adjuster on it as well. There you go. That was easy. And that preloader will just screw it all the way off now. So just tap out now. Like that. And there's the first very, oh my god, very dead bearing. Wow, that's so bad. This one should pull out, but it's being awkward because the bearing's so bad. Wow, oh my god. The worst I've ever seen. I'm not gonna lie. I'm coming to play as that's the bearing. It's insane. You don't want to come out, so I'm going to try and knock it out from the other side. This is just a punch actually for the bearing. It won't fit through yet, but the handle will. There you go. There's a word for that, but I can't say it on YouTube. Oh my god. Right, we're just going to punch these out now. Super easy. That's one. And then you get your funky £300 Enduro punch and do it in the Warner. These are awesome punches, honestly. Beautiful. Yeah, £300 a set. I might have had a couple of beers when I bought them. Right, clean this up. Press them in. Bang it back together. Get some grease in here. I'm also trying to film 3 videos at once at the moment. Pushing it a bit. Maybe 4 videos actually, thinking about it. What can possibly go wrong? Again, just push them in. If they go in, they should go in so easily. If you've got a major resistance, you've got something wrong, so just stop. And again, once that handle stops, they're in. Don't keep cranking them down. Super easy with the right kit. Right, now we need to put this axle back in. I remember which way around it went first. This goes in from non-drive through there. Bit of extra grease on this, just as a weather seal, and a bit of a seal that they give you to go in there. And then this preloader will go onto that. Just screw it on. And that's going to be pretty good there. When you're happy with that, just tighten this up, nip it up. Doesn't need to be tight, just nip it up. And these caps will just push in. A bit of grease on these O-rings just to make them a bit easy to get in and out. Like that. Just clean up the mess you made with your finish line grease. Right, that should be a lot happier than it was, that's for sure. Put the rotor on, put the quick release back in, and this one can go back on the bike. There's a spring missing on this, there should be 2 of these. Grab another one, a bit of grease on the thread. Cassette's also arrived. So you just line up the plastic bits, big bit, and it should just drop in. Like that. That's a 40 Newton meter click there. Job done. It's the main issue for this bike done now, the wheels, so we'll go through the rest of it now. Headset, new gear cables, new chain, and just get it cleaned and set up. Headset actually feels really nice, but we'll just whip it out quickly. Nothing internal, so it's 2 seconds. 3 minutes actually if you watch my video. 3 minutes to change both bearings on a non-integrated system, obviously. It was 2 hours, well they weren't very tight, jeez. Flipping heck. No, they weren't very tight. I think this is off AliExpress apparently. Customer was telling me this stem. There you go. All looks good in here. It looks okay, but these bearings are a good fit, that's for sure. There's a massive lip right underneath it, so you can't get to them. Yeah, they both feel good. I'm just going to get some fresh grease on the outside, stop them getting stuck. There's a bit of grease down the bottom, but the bit on the side is, yeah, there's not much left. It just comes straight off like that. And you can clean all this rubbish. 2015, this Fulcrum. I'll just throw this bottom bearing back in. So it feels super smooth. There's a bit of surface corrosion on the outside, but the bearing itself feels great. So don't skimp on grease here, guys. A world of pain when there's no grease there. Bit of grease around here as well where the compression goes there, like that. And there's only one spacer on this one there. Take off any grease where the stem's going to go. Lump it back on. Like that. And you can drop this in. So just rocking this bar side to side like that, and you'll feel any play in it if there is any. That feels great. And then I've got these weird bolts. It's a bit weird. This is not the bolt. The bolt is the 4mm. It's got a 5mm on the back to stop it spinning, but by the time you put the 4mm through, there's not enough of the 5mm to hold. So it just spins. Okay. Put this wheel back in there and make sure it's happy. It will be. Ecstatic. Silence. And absolutely zero play. Beautiful. Right, back wheel. Still spinning. Take this chain off because we're changing it anyway. Still spinning. Put the back one in now as well. There you go. Equally silent. Front one's just about stopped finally. Right, if I did nothing else to this bike, it's already going to be infinitely better than what it was. Wow. Right, wheels are done. I'm going to pull this crank, it just feels a little bit gritty, a little bit tight, so I'm just going to take that out. So 8mm self-extractor on here, so bang that in there. Poof, straight out. Famous last words. I just bought myself a new bit. This is an impact bit. Don't know why, but I was using a non-impact bit for a very, very long time, and I actually broke it last week. So this is a Fulcrum impact 8mm now, so good luck breaking this one. Years I've been using it as non-impact, and it's been okay, but using an impact gun, using an impact bit, obviously, yeah, it broke eventually. Quite spectacularly. All right. Straight off, guys. Fulcrum. Beautiful tools. Fulcrum and has it, amazing. Wow, it's disgusting in here. Flipping heck. I can't really get you close enough, but let me tell you, that looks really grim. Get it out and see what it looks like. So it's pretty stuck on all this nasty corrosion, so I'm going to put some lube on there, tap it back through, and then back out again. I think we're getting a new bottom bracket in this, guys, or bearings at least. And again, a bit of lube on this one here. Oh my god. I'm going to use this. This is BSC. It's for Holotech, but it'll fit this, no problem. It just lets you tap it a bit through a bit easier. There you go. I told you it's looking pretty grim. Right, I think this is getting a new bottom bracket because, yeah, they don't feel great, to be honest. Let's see what we got. Might have one. Let's paint the bottom bracket. Lottery game, not those three. Might be this one. One of these are terrible. Mega Exo, I think it is. Pretty tight, isn't it? Let's crank the gun up. There you go. FSA Mega XO. Yeah, this is just so shit. Let me see if I've got one. I've cleaned up quite well actually. Get some grease in here. Maybe a bit too much grease, but hey. And the new bottom bracket. Not sure when you're going to see this video, but tomorrow's video in real time is the 3 mountain bike swap. So hope you enjoyed that one when you watched it. Probably a couple of weeks ago now when you're watching this now though. It was a mission, that was. Jeez. So she took it to Wales, bounced down the side of a mountain, and all good. Good. Crank cleaned up pretty well actually, just a bit of surface corrosion, so get some grease on there. Bring it in. Good. There's only one wavy washer on there, and that was it. If you fancy giving yourself a bit of a Mensa test, you can go on FSA's website and try and find out what spaces go where. I think I spent the best part of an hour once trying to work out what I needed. Oh my god. Love this Fulcrum there. It looks so cool in black, doesn't it? I've ordered a 6mm to match now as well. There you go. I'm pretty sure this is indestructible. Talking of new tools, I've just bought this. This is a massive slide arm bit for headsets. So my carbon bikes where the internal waste gets stuck and you've got no access to the bottom of it. As you've seen in some of my videos like the Cube, this one fits in there. It's just really expensive, £100 for one bit, but it goes straight in there and it literally just fell out with this. Absolutely no effort whatsoever. So this thing's going to pay for itself in no time. So that's that done. Quick wipe down. Right, chain next I think. Quick pause in the build just to say thank you to Sport and Leisure for sponsoring this video. So when you're in the middle of a job, the last thing you want is progress to come to a grinding halt because the part that said it was in stock, guess what? It wasn't even in the same country, let alone not in stock. That's why I use Sport and Leisure. So they're UK based, their stock levels are live. The website says it's in stock. It really is in stock, ready to ship. You order before 3 PM and it ships the same day with free delivery on all UK orders. Next day delivery is only £2.50, which is a no-brainer when you're trying to keep the work moving. They've also updated the discount scheme for the channel, so if you head over to sportandleisure.com/BCR or scan this QR code on the screen right now, it will generate a unique voucher for 10% off your first order at checkout. So if you're buying parts anyway, it's an easy saving. So the link's down below, and thanks again to sportandleisure.com for continuing to support this channel. Now let's get back to this. Well, so I've got to put a chain on. I've got to change the gear cables as well, don't I? I almost forgot. Let's do those first. Put a chain on, and we won't be far off then on this one. I'm actually coming back to this one after the best part of a week. So this is about 4 days later from the first bit of the video. So the cable, that feels, oh, it's so tight, honestly. So much resistance on that. Gee, I should be holding that and that should basically be falling off now. Gravity, but I can really having to pull that. Ugh. That's getting changed. This is another piece up here. The customer didn't want to rewrap the bars, so I can't do the bit underneath there, but I'll do the 2 bits that I can do. Didn't feel too bad from the lever actually, but it would have been nice to have changed it, but can't do it. Out. I'll get some lube in this outer, that's the best we can do. Get some in the shifter as well. No cable in here at the moment, don't forget. So I've just flushed a load of lube in there, and I'll just go through the motions without a cable. Just gets the lube flowing to where it needs to be. They sound really positive. If they're sort of dull and quiet, then you need a bit more lube, but they sound really good. I can't believe the prices you guys have to pay for cables. It's just insane. 30, 40 quid for a set of gear cables. I buy them in a box of 100, better quality than what you're getting, and they cost me about, works out about £2 each. Honestly, it's crazy. Just going to run some Shimano cable grease on this piece here that's going to go into that housing. Literally just rub it on. Right, make sure that is located where it wants to be, which it is. And it moves with that bit, which it does. Got that back now, done. Cut 2 new pieces for the bits that I can change. That's one of the new bits, sit on there, look, and let go of that. That's how it should be. That's how you need your cables to be behaving. Absolutely zero friction in them. The last bit into there. Into the frame. Don't kink it when you put this in. Right. A little groove on this side of the bolt on this one. If you're not sure, just check because it makes such a difference if you get this the wrong way around. I've not cleaned the jockey wheels, dude, sorry. I will do before I put a chain on. We're not going for a full strip down and service on this, it's just getting the bad bits working basically. Like that lever, that's going to work. You always put your end cap on, otherwise you get frayed cables. Just quickly change this front cable, just the same really. Just taking this bolt out, it's got a lot of corrosion in there. Gonna want to tap through it as well, don't matter which side you go from. All that rubbish. Jesus. That white stuff is grease, not corrosion. That's how you want it to work. This bike's got a pulley here for that cable, and it is not moving. I'm not sure if it's supposed to move or not, but I think I will just drop this wheel out and have a quick look at that first. So this one here, I think, is probably supposed to rotate just to make the shifter a little bit lighter, but not been rotating for a while. Let's take it off and clean it up. I don't know if it's supposed to rotate or not. Clean that bit while you can. I cleaned it up. I've added a washer to each side of it to see if it'll help it to spin around. I think it should probably rotate. It is plastic at the end of the day, so it will guide regardless. No, I don't think it's designed to, is it, guys? I mean, you could potentially put some Loctite on there and just back it off a fraction and allow it to rotate, but at the end of the day it's plastic and the cable's going to run quite happily on there anyway, so I don't think it is supposed to spin. So here's the front derailleur cable housing. See if you can spot a mistake. Yeah, how are you adjusting the cable tension on this? There's not one on derailleur and there's not one here. You must have some sort of barrel adjuster on your front derailleur, so I'm going to cut this off and put an inline one. Cut that off and fit that in the middle. Wow. Doesn't have to be in the middle, just needs to be somewhere where you can adjust it. Cut it in half. Like that. You will massively struggle to get your front gears working without a barrel adjuster. It does make the cable a bit longer, so I might need to just trim that a little bit. Yeah, just chop 10mm off that. Again, a bit of grease on the cable that's going to go in that housing we're not changing. Drop the barrel adjuster in there, and then your housing, and just there. And then connect this up to the top tube. Around the pulley and over your freshly repaired bolt. Shouldn't actually be wrapped over the top, it should go in here. There's all sorts of wrong on this, isn't there? Alright, this is totally wrong here. I'm going to show you why. There's a bit of plastic in here that comes out, but that's kind of half in, half out. So that's not right. So that piece there shouldn't be sitting there like that. It should be within a hole. Take that out. Like that. Now there's two positions that will go that way. We'll spin around the other way and the pin will be over this way a little bit more. And that's all to do with the cable angle. When the cable normally comes out the bottom bracket here and up towards the front derailleur. There's a special little Shimano tool that you use on this one. Basically you clip the cable in here and then it tells you at which side of this line the cable is naturally sitting, and then it tells you which way around to put this piece of plastic that I've just pulled out. But because we're on this pulley, I'm not quite sure which way that's going to want us to go, so I'll hook the cable in and see how it looks. We might need to swap it around. And it does make a difference, honestly. So it says cable in here, so it's basically saying your cable goes here. Remember when I took it off, it was in here, so it was going over the top of the bolt, basically like that. So that's incorrect as well. So that was wrong, and that was clamped wrong, so it should go in there like that, basically. So I'll clamp it in. I'm going to guess on this thing at the moment. I'll put that tool on and see if it gives me any useful information. Right, that's in flush now, not half hanging out like it was. I'll just put the bolt in loosely, get that cable around the pulley into its position there, like that, here. There's a hole in the derailleur, and then that lines up with the bolt like that. And then you've got to see which side the cable goes. So I don't know if you can see, but it's clearly going on this side of this one, which tells you which way around this needs to be. So have I got it the right way? I can't, let's see. So the curved end of that needs to be facing me. So I'm just going to check that. It's the wrong way. The right way around. So, right, so that's correct now. Put this bolt back in. Put the cable in and just start that bolt so it doesn't fall out. Like that. And then pull it up. And then make sure your gear lever is obviously in the correct position. Lowest of the low, and then nip this up. Tighten it up. It does have a little groove where it exits at the top here, like that. It will actually just drop into it, and then tighten it up. I'm amazed it ever shifted. I'm not sure it ever did. I can't remember trying it when it came in, to be honest. That's definitely going to work. So I'll just show you this tool again from a different angle. So it clips, there's a hole in here, it goes in. That bit there goes in the back of the bolt, like that. And I'll show you from a different angle. Well, I'll see how that goes, that pulley, because it's still not clear to me which side that should be. I think it's right, and it is shifting very easily. Normally the lever would feel very tight if it wasn't. That's shifting really nice and easily, so I think that's right, but we'll soon find out. Cleaning the jockey wheels, dude. I don't know why, but I thought this bike was 10 speed, but it's 11 speed. Good job I checked. I was going to put 10 speed chain on it. I'll tell you every time, but there is writing on one side of this Shimano chain, and that's the side that faces you this way. I think how much difference realistic that makes, I'm guessing not a great deal, but get it right, and obviously make sure you go the right way to your derailleur. That's the next biggest mistake people make. Alright, let's see if we've got anything resembling gears. Just pressing my lever all the way first, just bending all these housings, these fresh caps that were fitted. Push that as far as you can, and get it back down. Alright, let's give this a go. Big chain ring at the front. Goes up nicely. And goes down nicely. Well, that was easy, wasn't it? How about the front derailleur? Goes down, goes up. Happy days. It's actually working really well. Good. A little bit of a struggle there, so we'll just add some cable tension on the barrel adjuster. There's a few turns on there. It's straight up there. Very nice. Right, that was easy. Brakes. Well, it's got a long lever on these brakes. Oh hell. Hopefully we can fix that. On these you can adjust each pad individually, so it should be pretty straightforward. I'll show you how to do that. So on these, like any other cable operated disc brakes, there's a screw here that you turn in, and that advances the pads nearer to the rotor itself, so you just got to turn that in if you can. They're normally pretty stiff. Giving me Allen key back. Put your Allen key in this way instead, get a bit more leverage, and crack it off once it gets going easy. You can see from the back, just when you're doing any other brakes, you can see from the back daylight through here. And just close it up as close as you can without it ripping. Get a bit more yet. Now that's rubbing. Tiny adjustment. That's good. And on these TRP spires, you got one on the other side as well. Normally you only get one on this side, but the spires, you can adjust both pads independently, which is great. So I'll just tweak this side in a little bit. Still not rubbing. Let's try that. Much better. That's literally a third of the lever travel now. And actually working quite well. That's as good as they're getting without going to compressionless housing, but like I say, we can't strip the bar tape off, so we're not going to get opportunity to do that. But if you have got these cable operated disc brakes, number one upgrade is compressionless housing. It makes a big difference for cable disc brakes anyway. Try the front lever. Again, that's super long, so I'll just adjust that one exactly the same. T-handles are normally quite good for these, so you can get that in there and get a bit more leverage straight through like that. That's actually turning really easy, that one. Don't do that because you just smash all these spokes. Right, that's too much. Back that out a smidge. Tiny bit more, and don't forget you got adjustment on the other side. That's that one gone, and you can adjust the other one while it's spinning. Too much, too much, too much. Maximum. Again, that's improved that lever, no end. The rotor's got a big bend in it, so I'm going to straighten that out, and then we can get this pad in a little bit more. So it's this whole piece of the rotor here. So just grab your rotor trimming tools and give it a quick tweak. Like that. Don't need much. If that's not doing it, you can grab this further down here. You can see this, and you can bend that. And it gives you a bit more of a bigger adjustment. There you go, got rid of it. And then we can tweak this in a bit now. Okay, no rubbing. Both of them feel pretty equal actually, so that's as far as we're going with this one, guys. Obviously, like any other bike shop, I offer different sort of levels of service, and this is what was requested on this one. and it's working a damn sight better than it was. I don't think the customer was even aware of that horrendous noises coming from these wheels, so hopefully he's going to notice a big difference. So hopefully you enjoyed it, hopefully you learned something, and if you did enjoy it, you know what to do. Big subscribe button down there, really does help me out, and stay tuned for next week. It'll be something completely different. Thanks for watching.